أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن تبعه وله وسلم تسليما كثيرا. أما بعد, we continue إن شاء الله with كتاب الطب الروحاني لابن الجوزي رحمه الله تعالى. This is a book in الرقائق. رقائق is the plural of رقيقة, means something soft, and here رقائق means softeners of the heart. There is a section in علوم السلوك, علوم السلوك, or the sciences of behavior or conduct. And this is a type of knowledge that unfortunately is not sought after in our times now, like it used to be before. At the time of Sahaba or Tabi'een, some students would go to the scholars just to learn the adab. They learn the etiquette. They learn the work of the heart and the soul before the body. You learn the wudu, you learn the salah, you learn about fasting and hajj. Those are essentials, necessities of your deen. Those are the pillars of the deen. But the rest of the building, the walls and the windows, and then the plumbing and the electricity and the AC and all of those are the complementary parts of the house, without which the house is not habitable. So we have to understand the importance as well. So هذا علم السلوك. السلوك يعني how to behave, how to think, how to set your mind, how to focus, how your soul becomes pure, how your heart becomes clean, and how to be living for a cause. Much, much more than what your body needs. So when you work, it is more than just getting money so you can put food on the table. That is the direct intention. That is the direct reason why we work. You go to exercise. There is the direct reason that you want your physical fitness. But طبعا beyond that, there is the mental health. So when you exercise your body and take care of your body, then there are certain hormones that will make you feel relaxed. And once you establish this as a routine, then your behavior changes. And your behavior changes, you become mutma'in, you become tranquil. And that is what affects the soul. So there is a direct and near gain, and there is an indirect and far achievement for everything. So that is, this book is about that. This is to learn how to purify one's soul and clean one's heart. So Imam al-Jawzi, in this section today, he is talking about knowing one's own shortcomings and flaws. And this is something that's very, very, very important. SubhanAllah, it sounds very simple. It sounds that common sense, as they say. But, also they say that common sense is not so common. People, you don't use their common sense. And this, unfortunately, one of the diseases of our time, simplifying the things that's supposed to be serious. I mean, like trivializing the serious and maximizing the trivial. The things that you're not supposed to give it much thought, we think about a lot. The things you're not supposed to interfere in or give it much concern, we're always concerned about. We're always concerned about the little silly things, tiny things. Look at how much details we take care of our food or of our clothing, our livelihood. We go for each and every word people say, and we try to put our nose in everybody's affairs, things that we're supposed to abandon or not to be concerned about. or things are like very simple and that you're not supposed to give it much thought. We give it much thought. We take care of all those like tiny details. And the things that we're supposed to spend our life improving and working on, we're trivializing. How many of us working on the quality of our salah? How many of us thought about the quality of istighfar? Am I saying tasbih right? Did you ask yourself that question ever before? Am I doing Alhamdulillah right, properly? Am I doing dua properly? Do I know the etiquettes of dua? Like, am I doing wudu right? Am I actually feeling something when I'm doing the wudu? This wudu is ibadah, isn't it? It is just water touching my skin or what? When I'm holding the miswak and I'm using it, am I remembering the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam and I'm following him as a sunnah? And I really want this to be purification for my mouth and purification for my heart. And I want to please Allah. And I want to be uniting with the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam in an act or a sunnah. Those are serious stuff. Yeah, it might be sunnah or mustahab, but they are serious. Like these things can decide your eternity. The level, you're entering Jannah or not, aside from that, like the level, you are in Jannah. One of the ulama, one time, he was asked, like many people say that this is a sunnah, so it is not obligatory to and to do it, or this is makruh, not going to be punished by doing. So he said, you tell them that Yawm al-Qiyamah, when you are in front of the Jannah and you're seeing people higher, you say those are ranks that you don't need. Those are ranks in Jannah. Higher you don't need. You just need to enter Jannah anywhere, but you don't need to be in a higher rank. So if you are abandoning those sunan and those mustahabbat and those things that you look at as not important, then it's not important to upgrade in Jannah also. Would you like that? Or you want the whole package? You want the whole package, right? So why you're not doing the whole package in the dunya, regardless if it's sunnah or not? So what I'm trying to say is the raqa'iq or softeners of the heart helps you to get to that level of understanding. Every single chance and opportunity in this life is an opportunity to get closer to Allah Azza wa Jal. So never trivialize it. Never look down upon it. You have few minutes and you're not doing anything. Never say, I'm bored. Just go do and pray 2 rak'ah. If it's a time of prayer or not a time of disliking of prayers. Sit there and say, okay, now I have some time. Even if you take a nap, it's a ibadah to Allah Azza wa Jal. It's good that your body needs it. But if your body does not need a nap and you don't have anything to do, would you get the remote and watch TV out of boredom? Or you're going to do some istighfar. You say, I'm going to do istighfar, 100 istighfar right now, as a sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I'm going to hold the Quran now and I'm going to read 5-10 pages. Do we do that? You see? That means our hearts is loaded with dunya attachment. So it becomes hard to do these things. You don't enjoy that. But if you get if you go to the your favorite app and shopping, or you get a chance for dinner somewhere, you're going to stand in front of the mirror for 2 hours to prepare yourself, and then you go there and eat food and talk with people about the dunya and come back. What a waste of time. What a waste of life. It is. Think about it. So what do you do to compensate for that? You stand 2 hours in front of the mirror to prepare yourself. Do you stand 2 hours in front of Allah Azza wa Jal to clean yourself. So softeners of the heart brings you back and makes you feel the importance of the things that we are overlooking, and how trivial are the things that we are overthinking. قال Imam Ibn al-Jawzi, he said, you have to know that the self is loved, and the lover, the things loved, the defects or the shortcomings of the loved is always hidden from the lover, the one who loves. Some people, they have sharp sight, and they feel that their nafs is an enemy whenever it is not on the right path. Then he sees its defect. So if I look at myself that I am the best, I'm the sheikh, I'm the best, I'm reciting Quran, I'm doing this, my life is with Allah Azza wa Jal, I will not see my defects and shortcomings. Because I love what I'm doing, and I love myself. When I love myself and I'm absorbed with that self-love or self-centeredness, then I'll not see my defects and shortcomings. I might hear my criticism from others, but I wouldn't like it. But if I say, nafs ammara bisu, this self of mine can be my enemy if the thoughts are not aligned with what Allah Azza wa Jal told us. If my behavior is not aligned with the Sunnah of Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, if my desires are not aligned with the Quran and Sunnah, this is my enemy right here. Then I'm going to see the defect. Why I'm lustful, why I'm leaning toward that. Then I can fix that. But as long as you are seeing yourself above, you're never going to see your defects. And shaitan will make it even worse when you start seeing the defects of people. But why are you seeing the defects of the people? Because you are jealous from them. You are envious to them. If you are busy with yourself, believe me, you're not going to see the defects of others. Because you're busy with yourself. Oh, like today, you wake up in the morning and you say, today, I don't know why I'm feeling lazy. This is physical right here. Because your body is giving up on you. I'm feeling lazy. I'm going to call sick. I cannot take the kids to school. I am going to leave early from work. Oh, I cannot do the groceries. All physical stuff calling upon you every day that you cannot do things. Does your soul do the same thing? No, because you're not paying attention to it. Believe me, if you're paying attention to your heart and soul, they're going to do the same thing. You'll never be able to sleep if you did not do your wird, or you did not do your witr, or you did not do wird means what you used to from goodness, whether it is dhikr or tasbih or Quran, or doing something that you're supposed to do before you sleep. This is the nutrition for your ruh and your heart. And your ruh and your heart will never let you sleep without doing it. It is like your body will never let you pass, when it's hungry, you need to feed it. When it is tired, you need to rest it. When it is lazy, you need to push it and do some activity so it become active. Your ruh would be the same exact thing. But why we're not doing that for the ruh? That is why. Because you are not taking yourself as your enemy, your own enemy, if it deviates. Because you love it. And when you love someone, you do not look to their defects. وعين الرضا عن كل عيب كليلة ولكن عين السخط تبدي المساوية. When you are pleased with someone, then you overlook and you feign of their defects. Don't see. ولكن عين السخط, but the eye of dissatisfaction, it reveals and exposes all the shortcomings. So when you're not satisfied with somebody, you try to look over their shortcomings. Every action they do, every gesture, every look, it has to be interpreted negative. But when you are pleased with someone, even their negative things and their mistakes, you try to look at it in a positive way. قال إياس بن معاوية, one of the great scholars of the suluk and the behavior, he said, من لم يعرف عيب نفسه فهو أحمق. The one who does not know his or her own defects, they are foolish. He said, what is your defect? قال فما عيبك. Then what is your own defect? قال كثرة الكلام. I talk too much. I just talk too much right now. He said that whoever does not know the defect of his own self is a foolish person. He said, what is your defect? Because the person trying to say, if he does not know his own defect, he's foolish from his own word. He said, my own defect is كثرة الكلام. I speak a lot. So Ibn al-Jawzi said, this is يعني scarce. Do not take that, because most of the people don't know their own defects, because it is hidden. This is the majority, يعني default. We are saying that he's saying he said that we're not talking about the easy to find defects. That's what he's talking about. So Imam Jawzi said he's talking about the easy to find things. You need to know. But Ibn Jawzi said we are talking about the hidden things that needs effort. It needs pondering. It needs digging. Everybody knows, like, I get angry fast. That is one defect. I get intimidated very fast. I don't have patience. I get irritated a lot. I am fidgety. Those are like, if you don't know those things, that you're foolish. You should know those, right? So Ibn Jawzi said that's not what we're talking about. So he was referring to that, yes, Ibn Muawiyah, but he said we are talking about the batin, the hidden things. It is like hidden diseases. People live and run and all that, and then they go do some regular checkup and they tell them you have cancer, you have diabetes, you have whatever. Where was that? It was hidden. So sometimes even the doctors don't get to that. So sometimes, this is what Ibn Jawzi says, that you love yourself too much, you do not see. And the more you love yourself, the more hidden things will from you. They're easy to find, but they are become hidden. So he's trying to tell us now, it's like a pathway. The more you walk on that pathway, the deeper you can get into yourself. The further you are from that pathway, easy things, easy to see, but you're not going to be able to see. But when you walk more in this conduct and this softness of the heart and knowing your own nafs, you're going to feel it. So sometimes a person who said, you know what, I feel like I'm going to get the cold or the flu a day or two before, and then they get it. There's a feeling there that your body, the slightest of changes can make a difference. The slightest of changes can make a difference. They said that one time a friend was departing his friend. Two friends were departing. So one of them said to each other, tell me about my own shortcomings. قال اسأل غيري. Ask someone else. Why? Because I was looking at you with the eye of pleasure, the eye of satisfaction. So I did not see any of your shortcomings. If you asked me from the beginning to look at your shortcomings, I would have looked. So Imam Ibn al-Jawzi said, if somebody asks you a question now, and he said, if the defects are that hidden and they are that subtle, and the human being do not see it as defects to start with, so how do we know it? So Imam Ibn al-Jawzi said there are 7 ways to identify your own shortcomings, even though they are deep and hidden and subtle. قال الطريق الأول, the first way to, or those are factors, or those are helping factors to help you identify your own shortcomings. So the first way, to choose the best and the most intellectual, sincerest of the people who are around you, and to trust them and ask them sincerely to identify your shortcomings and flaws whenever they see it, without restriction, without being mad at them, without reacting in a negative way. Tell them to show you that as if they are giving you a gift. As if they're giving you a gift. And when they tell you, you should be happy with what they tell you. Not because you're happy that you have it. No, you're happy that you identified it. And don't show sadness or reaction, because the other person, when they see that, they will not be honest with you. They will not tell you because they see their action. And you tell him that if you hide something from me, you are cheating and you are deceiving me in front of Allah Azza wa Jal. So don't deceive me. I trust you. I'm going to be happy when you give me you give me the gift of my flaws, and you just give that to one person that you trust so much from those who are around you. And that can be your spouse, but I don't advise that, because we as human beings, don't want to appear perfect in front of our spouses. So if they are going to give you one shortcoming after the other, one shortcoming after the other, it's going to cause issues later on. That each one of us would feel that this is the way they see me. They see me that defective. They see me that wrong. See, now it becomes a problem. But you choose a friend, close friend that you trust. And you do that. And not necessarily you do that interchangeably. You can have someone that you are telling them their shortcomings, and completely different from a person that who tells you your own shortcomings. Okay? So that's, number one, way number one to know your own shortcomings. Number two, أن يبحث عما يقوله فيه جيرانه وإخوانه ومعاملوه وماذا يمدحونه ويذمونه. Always to keep an ear for what people say about you. Those who are close, your neighbors, your relatives, the people who deal with you at work or in the school, what they praise you with and what they criticize you with. It's not like you are going and digging and hating on people for criticizing you. No, I mean, you keep alert, you feedback, what they call now feedback about your own behavior. So look for those things. Don't go tell people necessarily, let them act naturally. But you see what is happening and evaluate that. If the sisters can mute yourself, inshallah. Yeah. Okay, I muted everybody. Right? So this is way number two. You look for feedback. You see what people say about you, those who are close to you, close circle, your neighbors, your brothers, your sisters, your relatives, co-workers, classmates, people you deal with. Always watch what they say about you, good or bad, and take this in the balance. Don't be deceived about what they say good about you, and don't be intimidated by the bad things that they say about you, but evaluate it and see if it is true or not. Maybe they're exaggerating and praising you. That's as bad as criticizing you. So I have to look for that. Number three, third way to know your own shortcomings and flaws. To look what the enemies say about you. Enemies. Not, see, the previous one was the friends, the close ones. Why? Because the enemy is constantly looking for your shortcomings. And you cannot say that everything they're looking for is not true. This is someone who has a magnifying glass looking for your shortcomings only, hiding everything good that you do and magnifying everything bad that you do. So watch for that. Don't take it lightly. Don't overlook it because, they are my enemies. They are saying bad things. That's not true. Now, why? Maybe it is true. Maybe one of the things Out of 100, maybe 1% is true. So fix it, right? That's why they said من هذا الوجه ينتفع الإنسان بعدوه ما لا ينتفع من صديقه، أو ما لا ينتفع بصديقه. Imam Jawzi يعني said that is why that you benefit from your enemy what you cannot benefit from your friend. Because your friend may be shy, may be embarrassed to tell you, but your enemy will not. He's looking for a chance to destroy you. لأن العدو يذكر النقص والصديق يستر الخلل. The enemy, he will expose your defect while your friend covers it. فإذا عرف الإنسان من طريق عدوه نقصه اجتنبه. When you know from your enemy your shortcomings and your defect, you avoid it. So those are 3 ways now to know your subtle defects. 4th way, أن يصور أفعاله في غيره ثم يستعمل منها ما يستحسن ويترك ما يستقبح. يعني إيه؟ يعني look to your own things that you identified in general and imagine them in someone else that you're going to deal with. Would you like that or not? It's like love for your brother, what you love for yourself. Treat people with what you like them to treat you with. So I'm lazy. I'm like, for example, I'm lazy. I don't like to do things. When somebody asks me to help them, I don't like to help them and I feel bad. Okay, now I need help and I'm imagining that there is someone who has the help that I need, but they are saying I'm lazy, I don't want to help you. Would I like that? I don't like it. So I'm going to avoid it. So that's also kind of, manifesting or representing the bad things about myself that I know. So I kind of have, as if they are in someone else. So I avoid what is bad and I do what is good. That will help you also to become transparent with yourself. So you start seeing the more subtle things. The 5th way, to ponder upon the things that you do and seeing their impact. سوف يرى عيب العيب وحسن الحسن فإن الفكر الصادق نافذ. So you see the impact of the wrong and the fruit of the good. Okay, so that's why when you ponder truthfully, then this is going to impact you. So you see what is the result of this shortcoming and what is the result of my good character. Seeing the impact of what you do. Number 6, which is very important. أن يعرض أعماله على محك الشرع ويريها نافذ العقل ويضعها في موازين العدل فإنه يرى الأرجح والأدون. So always measure your acts with the scale of Sharia and always think deeply about what you do with the eyes of Sharia. How you're going to be measured. Are you in the muhsineen? Are you in the muttaqeen? Are you in the Muslimin? Are you in the mu'mineen? Are you the people who are wishy-washy? Are you what? Are you there? So you will see what is better and what is lower. Number 7, أن ينظر في سير العاملين ثم يقيس أفعاله بأفعالهم فيرى حينئذ أن آثار النقص عيب فيجتنبه فضلا عن فعل القبيح. To always read in the biographies of the good ones before us, the good people. So you kind of compare yourself. You have a criteria. You have someone to compare yourself for. You have a standard to measure your acts according to theirs. Then you will see the results of your shortcomings. Then you avoid it, let alone doing something bad. So those 7 things again that will help you. Number one, to choose a sincere friend, and you have to make a pact with them or a deal with them that they have to show you your shortcomings without you reacting to it, and making sure that they understand that they are giving you a gift. Number two, that you have to see your close circle of good people, what they say about you, criticism or praise, and measure that. Number three, to see what the enemies say about you and pay attention to it. Don't take it as exaggeration or because they are enemies, they're not saying the truth. Number four, that you have to imagine the wrong things that you have or you discovered in others, and to see what you accept and what you don't accept. That will help you change and understand. Number five, that you have to see the impact of your acts. So you keep the good and avoid the bad, the impact and the fruit. Number six, that you have to measure it with the criteria of Sharia. And number seven, you have to compare it to the people who died before us, or the people who, the biographies of the predecessors. So those people who lived a good life, you measure yourself according to them. So those are 7 ways that once you follow them, and once you make them a criteria in your life to measure yourself, then Allah Azza wa Jal will give you a foresight and an insight to see through yourself and go as deep as possible to find exactly what are the shortcomings and the defects. Then Imam Ibn al-Jawzi talks about تنبيه الهمة الدنية. Subhanallah. This is, may Allah save us from that. Himma is your resolve, your will to be better. That's called al-himma. Himma, like when you say, okay, let's study this class. You find, mashallah, I'm excited. Tomorrow we're going to start this tajweed class or tafsir class. Can't wait and all that. That's called himma. And then, you know, when I say, okay, I want you to prepare that, you go read the book and the 2 and the 3 and the 4, and you prepare. You want to listen to the recording, you want to do that. That's called himma. عالية. الهمة الدنية, when you ask for something and say, no, I don't want to do it. Maybe you have a right, because this is silly. But what about, oh, I don't want to do it, and it is something important? That is himma daniya. Ibn al-Jawzi here is saying something very, very serious. He says, إذا كانت الهمة الدنية طبعا لم ينجع أو لم ينجح. الحمد لله. الحمد لله. بيكون نصر. الحمد لله. بيكون نصر. لم ينجع فيها العلاج. لم ينجع يعني it doesn't have any effect. بالعين. لم ينجح does not succeed. So نجع ونجح. علاج ناجع وعلاج إيه؟ ناجح. يعني ناجح ودحا means successful. ناجع means effective. Right? Something effective, not necessarily successful. Something successful, not necessarily effective. So it's يعني very tiny difference there. So he said that if it is a nature that the person's will or resolve is always down, they are lethargic by nature, they are not excited by nature, they don't want to do good by nature, it's very hard to treat. May Allah save us, subhanahu wa ta'ala. Subhanallah, by Islam, by nature, you ashhadu an la ilaha illallah rasul iqam as-salat az-zakah, yani it does not let you settle. That's why munafiqeen find it very hard to keep up with Islam. Okay? He's saying that if it is a nature, it's very hard to deal with. But if it is acquired because the company are like that, the people surrounding you are the ones who are bringing you down, أو لغلبة الطبع والهوى فعلاجها قريب, or because the nature of the person is lustful, or they like laziness. It's not by nature they are down. They like that, or because their desire or lust that bringing them down. Then علاجها قريب. We can treat by changing the environment, by changing the cause of these problems, then the problem will disappear. And that's one issue, by the way. When I was taking a course about, problem solving and dispute resolution, normally when people come and complain about a problem, the worst thing is like you give them a solution right away. Okay? That's the worst thing. Why I'm saying that? A student comes to me, for example, and said, I have problems studying. I said, what is the problem? I said, I can't study easy. I open the book and I'm distracted, blah, 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 blah. If I tell them, go Bismillah and pray to Rak'ah and do this, that's a good solution, right? But maybe it's effective with that person. So now they go and say, Sheikh, I did what you did, but nothing happened. So now what? Your salah is not effective, your Quran is not effective, your dua is not effective. So now I just wasted something good on a person that maybe he needs something else. You see what I'm saying? So that's the problem. Sometimes you rush into solution. And therapists and counselors, they know what I'm talking about. Who have any in the house. So you do not just give a solution because you do not know the problem. That's a problem that somebody is suffering from for 10 years. And you expect to give them a solution in 10 minutes? That doesn't work like that. Even Quran doesn't do that. Allah said, يَا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا اسْتَعِينُوا بِالصَّبْرِ وَالصَّلَاةِ. He did not, يَا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا اصْبِرُوا وَصَلُّوا. If you have a problem, fast and be patient. No, he said, seek help through fasting and patience. This is the long-term solution. And continue doing that. Yeah. So when somebody comes to you, don't jump into it. You have to understand the environment. You have to understand, collect as much information as you can about what causes that problem, what led to that problem, what kind of person you are, what kind of job you are, what kind of spouse you have, what kind of family you have, what is your financial situation, and you count all of this, and then you said, that is why that person is stressed because of their financial problems. That person's spouse is not helping them. The children, they have some problems, or they have someone in the medical school, or they have someone like they are stressed about them finding a job. And that's why they cannot study, they cannot work, they cannot focus. So you have to work on that issue that's causing them that stress. And once the stress is gone, then they will focus. You see? So that's why Allah Azza wa Jalla said, "Tubu ila Allah tawbatan nasuha." Repent to Allah Azza wa Jalla. If somebody comes to you with a problem, you just tell them, stop that issue. Quit the problem that you're doing, and that's easy to say. But tubu, that means you quit what you do, you intend not to do it, you regret what it is, you repent to Allah, you ask Allah for help, and then you may actually go back. But you keep asking Allah for help, you keep asking the help of others around you. So all of this will help you quit. But sometimes you're easy to judge, it's easy to tell people that, this is the wrong, you stop doing that and Allah Azza wa Jalla bless you in abundance. Absolutely, yeah, you're right. But how are you going to do that? How are you going to do that? What if they go back again? What if they're weak? You see? So you have to identify that problem. So you have to treat that low resolve, that low self-esteem, or low steam. You don't have enough steam to push the engine. How you do it? He said, مُقَاطَعَةُ أَهْلِ الدَّنَاءَةِ أَنَا فَتًى مِنْهُمْ. You have to detach yourself from the people who bring you down. You know, and me and you, we know very well that who are the people who have negative impact on us. Don't associate with them. Why you keep associating with them? Sisters, why you have to keep continuing going, having tea and food and talk and biryani parties and kapsa, whatever you do, makluba, whatever, with the sisters that always bring you down, with the sisters that always backbite, with the sisters who always criticize others? Why you keep associating with those? I don't know. Maybe if you didn't associate with them, you're not going to participate. You said, but I am also, Sheikh, talking about people. Maybe you are talking about people because you are with those people. Try to change and go with those who bring you to classes like this, who take you to the masjid, who make you benefit from your life. Have you tried this? Have you tried that? SubhanAllah, let's read some Quran, let's preview something, listen to this lecture, but don't overdo things, because sometimes, oh, Sheikh told us, okay, let me make a WhatsApp group, and every day 70 different notifications. يعني don't do this and don't do that. يعني خير الأمور أوسطها. Start a book and finish the book and another book and read Quran, do istighfar. Wallahi, life is not to be wasted. Today I was talking to one of the teachers in the school, and he said, Sheikh, I want to ask you something. I said, okay, please come to my office. So they come to my office and they said, you know, I'm going to tell you that, but yani, I don't misunderstand it. I said, no, I'm fine. I said, how do you do what you do? I told him, what do you mean? He said, like, you have the school, you have the masjid, you have the community problems, you teach classes online, and you have a family to take care of. They have their challenges, and then you have to take care of yourself, physically, mentally, spiritually, all of that. How you do it? I smiled, and I said, actually, I should ask myself, why shouldn't I do it? Like, why I shouldn't do what I'm doing? Like, you are wondering now, like, how I'm doing that, as if it is not what me and you and every Muslim is supposed to do. What is our life if we do not use every minute in it and every second in it for the service of Allah and for our own benefit in Akhirah? What is life? And if I don't do what I'm doing, what else should I do? I asked him, and he was like, kind of, so what? I told him, okay, like, if I come to school only and then I don't have anything the rest of the day, what do you think someone like me should do? You see perspective now. Why you do not do like that? Why you think like once you finish the school, you're done with the day? Like, who told you that? Like, I'm not done. Like, I do not feel that there is a time that I take off. Take off from what? I know that I need to rest, but do I like have a rest time every day the same time? No. No, I rest when I'm tired, like I eat when I'm hungry. Right? And then, you know, what would I rather do? Like sit, do nothing, idle, or I do something? I do something. Like, you know, I feel like, okay, now I'm tired. I can sit home and I do some dhikr and I pray Isha. But why I don't go to the masjid? I pray Isha and I say khatira after Isha. Maybe somebody would benefit from it, because this is my capacity. Like, why I not forget about me benefiting others? Why I do not benefit myself by benefiting others? So I need it more than they do. Because if they don't hear me, they don't need to hear someone else. They will listen to it in YouTube. But do I, Mamdouh, need to teach people? Yes, I do. I do, actually. I need that reward, that one person can be guided because of what I say. That's why. I don't want credit. I don't want to show off. I don't want that anymore. So the question, when it came, it was a surprise for the person, the answer. I told him, like, what do you think I should do if I don't do all of these things? Like, I want to sleep because, you know, now I used my day to the maximum ability that I could use it. And then now I have to sleep. I cannot survive without sleeping. That's why I'm sleeping. I'm not just sleeping because I want to enjoy my bed and relax in my comfortable bed, you know, and I have to sleep 8 hours or no. Sometimes I sleep 1 hour. Sometimes I sleep 5, but not more than 5 for the past 20 years. That's it. That's it. So I find that, you know, like, my day has to be like that. And I want you to do the same thing. Every day I got to read something. Every day I got to check on my children and my family. Every day I have to do my duties. Every day I have to do extra work. Every day I have to, whatever time I have to find something to fill it. There's no such a thing like, you know, I don't have anything to do. I'm bored. I don't know. There's no such a thing in our life that I don't know. Doesn't matter. Even if you are paralyzed, even if you cannot walk, you're going to have something to do. Now we have computers, we have books, we have lots of things. You can talk to people, you can benefit. You know, you can advise someone, you can teach someone, alif beta, volunteer to do something. So don't tell me that you don't have time to do something. Actually, there's things more than the time that we have in this world. to be done for your own goodness. And I'm talking about the things that you need, not the extras. But we busy with ourselves with the extras of the dunya. Food, we want the extras. Clothing, we want the extras. Social life, we want the extras. But when it comes to serving ourselves, how to be servants of Allah in this dunya and how to gain His reward in akhirah, we just want the minimum. Ajib. So stay away from those who bring you down. Stay away from those who attach you to the dunya more. Stay away from those who kind of praise you all the time. And stick with those who show you your own shortcomings, with those who take you up spiritually, with those who bring you to Allah, with those that every day you feel that you are closer to Allah because of them. These are the ones you stay closer to. These are the ones you follow. These are the ones you beg to be your friends. All right? So he said that when you see the people who are going higher and higher, you aspire to them. But when you are surrounded by people lower and lower, you kind of see this is the status quo. I'm okay. I'm like everybody. I was teaching the kids also in the school, telling them that don't go with the flow. There is no such thing like I'm going with the flow. I'm going with the flow. Like you're driving and then the police stops you, you said, why are you speeding? You said, I'm going with the flow. What does that even mean? Because everybody's speeding and you can speed with them. Well, you got caught. Oh, I didn't catch them. I cannot catch all of them, but I catch someone, and that someone is you. So you cannot justify your wrong by everybody's doing wrong. النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم told us that لا يكن أحدكم إمعة إن أحسن الناس أحسن قال إن أحسن الناس أحسن وإن أساء أساء. When people do good, I'll do good. When people do bad, I'll do bad. لا. When people do good, you are with them because it is good. It's not because they are doing it. And when people do bad, you still do good. It's not because they're doing bad, you're going to be like them. No. So always, that's why one of the poets say إذا أعجبتك خصال امرئ فكنه تكن مثل ما أعجبك فليس على الجود والمكرمات إذا جئتها حاجبا يحجبك. He said, if you like something good from someone, be that someone, then you will be what you like. Like if you like something inside someone, be that someone, then you will like what you like. Then you will be what you like. So you like it, have it. Why not? Why I cannot be like that person who prays every day, who makes dhikr every day, who's smiling all the time, who is knowledgeable? Why I cannot be like that? Be like that. Right? Be like that. And he said that nothing would prevent you from being good. Like, when you find the generosity, who can prevent you from being generous? You can be generous in a hidden way. You can be generous. So Ibn al-Jawzi said, when you look at the guided predecessors before him, 700 years the hijrah before him, he says, whoever looks at the guided predecessors, they find that some of them, they were slaves. Some of them were poor people. Some of them were craftsmen, like they are like a carpenter or tailor or, barber or, what they call him, undertaker, like graveyard digger, and people like that. القرافي والمخللاتي والنجار والحداد والبزاز والبزار. Those are crafts. Not necessarily they were very rich people. Some of them were, but not necessarily very rich people. They were like carpenters, they were barbers, they were like, people who sell vegetables or people who do pickles. And they became like scholars. They became scholars of their own time. But why? Because their himmah, their resolve were high. Even their social status is low. Oh, but subhanallah, they have a grit. They have the resolve, takes them higher than everybody else. So if he said that if the people who are lethargic and they see the impact of not having the strong resolve, they will consider this is an enemy for them. They just took that route because they rushed or they hastened comfort. So always when you hasten comfort, you do not do the hard job. Like, some young people now, I tell them, okay, here is a job for you, but it's challenging. I said, nah, I don't want a challenging job. I want an office job. I want to sit comfortably. So he's rushing comfort. So what is he losing? All the benefits and perks that come with a challenging job. Why? Because they want comfort now. But if they look at the comfort 3, 4, 10 years later in the job, when they promoted and they will be comfortable, they will work less and make more, they will work hard in the beginning. Because some jobs are like that you work for the first 10 years very, very, very hard. And then after that, you become promoted, that you work less. You're a manager, you just go around and drive around and check people and, coach them and all that. And you make 3, 4 times more than what you used to make while doing that labor hard job. But they rushed the comfort. So they struggle for the rest of their life. But if they were patient for the comfort, they will struggle shortly. And all this dunya is the shortly part. So I struggle now to be comfortable for eternity. So I don't rush comfort in this dunya. So that's why my days like packed with things. Why? Because I know that there is a time I'll be comfortable. Why rush it here? This dunya is not the dar of comfort. And this does not mean you make people around you comfortable. And I make myself like this busy, but I want the comfort for my family and all of that. There's nothing wrong in this as well. And this is an individual thing. You have to try to have high resolve, 10, 20, 100 times more than others. That's up to you. But there is a level that you keep with, otherwise you become lazy. But the more you go, you do not have to push people to become like you. So resolve is like, not to be low, but to be extremely high, that's up to you. Subhanallah, the people who work hard and they see the fruit of that, how many people you taught, how many people read Quran because of you, how many people do good wudu and prayer because of you, how many people Allah guided because of you, how many places that you changed, how many problems that you solved, how many sick people you visited, how many hearts you comforted. That makes you forget all types of exhaustion and all types of hardship. ويعني النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم said in the hadith narrated by Anas رضي الله عنه that يؤتى بأنعم أهل الدنيا من أهل النار فيصبغ في النار صبغة ثم يقال له يا ابن آدم أو صبغة ثم يقول له يا ابن آدم هل رأيت خيرا قط هل مر بك نعيم قط فيقول لا والله يا ربي. He said that the person from the people of hellfire who was the most comfortable and living a life of luxury in this dunya. So Allah will bring someone who was the richest, the most comfortable, the most luxurious in this dunya, but he's from the people of fire. Then Allah Azza wa Jal will dip him in the fire and then bring him out. And he said, did you experience any luxury since I created you? He said, Ya Allah, I am in punishment since you created me. I am in suffering and hardship since you created me. So one dip in hellfire for 1 second makes a person forget from the day they were born until that day any goodness and any luxury that they have. That's what the hadith says. وَيُؤْتَى بِأَشَدِّ النَّاسِ بُؤْسًا فِي الدُّنْيا مِنْ أَهْلِ الْجَنَّةِ. Will bring a person who was the most struggling, most suffering in this dunya, poverty, sickness, everything, but he is among the people of Jannah. So Allah Azza wa Jalla will admit him to Jannah for 1 second and gets him out. Then he will say, Ya ibn Adam, O child of Adam, هل رأيت بؤسا قط? Did you see any misery in all your life? هل مرت بك شدة قط? Did you go through any hardship? He said, لا والله يا رب, by Allah, by your dignity, Ya Allah, I never see any misery. I am in luxury since you created me. So يعني 1 second in Jannah makes the person forget all hardship and misery, and 1 second in hellfire makes the person forget. So what is the value of actually looking for that in this dunya? So hardship will pass, suffering will pass, and comfort will stay, and comfort will pass, and regret will stay. And it is like that. So you are comfortable, then you suffer, then you're comfortable, then you regret, then you're... So always it is like that. Everything is like seasonal. Everything is transient. That's the word in English, transient. Transient means it is not stable, it is not permanent. It's not permanent. يعني, subhanallah, I have white hair now all over the place, as you see. I go diet knowing that, it's like, what am I trying to do here? It's after 1 week, it's going to come back again. So it's transient. This life is just like that. So I'll always stop here. And the next time we talk about exercising the soul. رياضة النفس. رياضة النفس. Like رياضة البدن, there is رياضة النفس. يعني in your body, you have a normal body, then you have a healthy, there is a sick body, and there is a normal body that's not sick, but it's not healthy. And then you have a healthy body, then you have a sportsmanship body, athletic body. Okay, so we're going to talk about how do you do the riyada that takes you from normal, from sickness to normal, from normal to healthy, from healthy to athletic. That is also in the soul as well. وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على سيدنا محمد والحمد لله رب العالمين. جزاكم الله خيرا. Any question? You can unmute yourself if you want to know.
I have a question. Since nobody else is asking, it's about good and evil. Can you tell me if God also created evil along with good?
Okay, this is a very good question, because people all the time, I want you to understand one thing first. God is up and we are down. The way we process things is not the way God processes things. You only see in front of you, but God sees everything at the same time, simultaneously, knowing the relationship of everything to everything. So the word good and evil is our classification of things. But from God's classification, that is the ecosystem. All the things created, it is not necessarily good or evil, right? So God created sickness and created health. God created the thieves and created the people that they will steal from and the people that will earn money, the good and the bad with our classification. But when God created that, he has a hikmah. Why he created them, why he created this, while he knowing that, that is the way we process things. But the way that God created is not to be questioned about. But God created everything. Because Allah said, وَاللَّهُ خَلَقَكُمْ وَمَا تَعْمَلُونَ. And Allah created you and he created everything that you do as well. Right? So God created cancer. Is cancer a good thing or a bad thing? It's a bad thing. But God created cancer? Yes. God created the healing for cancer? Yes. But why God creates something that he creates the healing with? So he could have not created the cancer. So why he created sickness and then he created medicine? That is the hikmah that Allah Azza wa Jal wants us to go through that experience. Like why Allah make some rule and then he cancel that rule and replace it with another rule. Why he did not give us the second rule from the beginning. That is our way of processing things. But that's not how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does things. That's how Allah Azza wa Jal operates. That's not. So we do not judge Allah according to our operation manual. Allah Azza wa Jal is the one who created us like that, so we cannot judge him with the way that we understand things. I hope I make some sense out of it. So not necessarily from Allah's side, this is evil. But Allah Azza wa Jal said, you human beings, this is what you do, this is what you don't do. This is what will make me angry, this is not what will make me angry. But ya Allah, you are the one who created everything. So don't judge Allah according to that. He created everything universal, but he told us that is right and that is wrong. Don't do this and do that. I hope I'm clear about it. Yeah. That's your concern. Don't do the evil and do the good, but don't worry about why Allah created it, but Allah created everything.
Okay, got it. Thank you. And can you quickly tell me the ayah reference? What number was that?
Of which one?
Allah created everything.
Allah created you and everything?
Yeah.
Allahu khalaqakum wa ma ta'malun. Allah khalaqakum wa ma ta'malun. It's Surah Al-Safat, verse 96. Surah Al-Safat, verse 96.
All right, Jazakallah khaira. My sister wanted to ask that, so thank you so much.
No problem. My salam to both of you.
Thank you. Thank you. Well,
I'm proud of you, both of you, mashallah. You are always there in lectures and going around. That's good, alhamdulillah. May Allah bless you, inshallah, and Allah protect you, and Allah give you guidance, subhanahu wa ta'ala. And
Ameen, ya Rabbal Alameen. Ameen.
Hearts, and everybody here, inshallah, may Allah comfort your hearts and expand your knowledge, and may Allah give you barakah in your ilm and your taqwa, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you and your families and make you among those who listen and follow the best of what they listen to.
Thank you. And will this recording be available for audio?
Right. So our sister Siti does that. Once she upload the MP3, inshallah, I will. If she sends me the MP3, I'm gonna upload it to the group, and I will also put the PDF of the summary and the mind map, inshallah, as I do every week.
All right, perfect. Jazakallah khair.